Hello, everybody. Happy to see you guys on this lovely afternoon and unexpected live video, or maybe even unplanned. But I'm getting so many emails that I barely have time to catch up. And in some ways, I feel that video response is often more fun. So today we're gonna talk about professional daters, professional dater types. So how to define a professional dater from the person who is interested in something more serious, and what are the main signs of a professional dater, and what is professional dater anyway. So I received a number of letters of guys who went out with the girls that they met on some of the websites, and the girls were there. They did not disappear. But what was disappointing for the men that wrote me letters is that although the dates had happened, but they really did not bring a lot of result. They did not bring a lot of connection. Oh God, it's starting. But they brought more of a confusion. And here is the question, how long do you pursue somebody before you know it's time to go? So we're gonna talk briefly about this. And first of all, professional dater is somebody who interested in the process of dating. In Slavic world, Eastern European, Ukrainian, Russian, Belarusian, professional dating is basically girls who just want to go out. They just want to go out, they want to spend time, they want to go to restaurants that they've never been before. A lot of times they're not truly interested in serious relationships, and sometimes it's a source of income. So they are staying on paid websites, and the websites pay money. Some of the websites pay money to the girls for being on the website and refreshing their pictures and chatting. It is really sad, but some of the women, they feel that staying on a website is how to say this, one way of making some more income, and then if you come over, then they can plan to go places and restaurants. And I know how strange it sounds, because as you get more mature, you realize how valuable the time is. So if you have different goals, you don't really want to go out with somebody just for the sake of going out. Usually you want to go out with somebody because that's a person that brings certain joy in communication. That's a person that you want to get to know better. Like, I think some of you guys in that state, or girls, if you're watching me, where somebody can't pay you for going out with them if you're not interested. And I would definitely define or I would definitely stand for that concept, where if you're not interested in a person, you don't want to get to know them, it's a waste of time. If you know that person ahead of time, they're not right for you, so you don't really want to go out with them, because you got things to do, and you would rather spend your time with somebody who you enjoy to have around. So with professional daters, it can be very confusing sometimes, because unlike the scammers, they don't blow you off. Very often in the scamming world, when you come to Ukraine, for example, the girl tells you, oh, my mom has a surgery, or my grandma is dying. I mean, it's terrible, the stuff the girls will tell you, and they will not show up. With professional daters, they can show up time after time after time. They can show up consistently, but that's in some way worse, because it's confusing you as if they are interested in you. So they're not particularly interested in you. They're more interested in the activities that you're gonna do, whether it's some fancy restaurant or traveling somewhere. So if you're a serious man, for you that's a waste of time, because the girl knows ahead of time you're not her type. She's not interested, and she's just having you as a body to go places that she would not be able to afford. I kind of see some part of desperation here, or I see the girl that does it, they don't really value themselves high, because when you value yourself, once again, you want to spend time with people that you enjoy, because no other reason but their company. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going for a walk with a dog, you just meeting in the park that doesn't really cost anything, or you go to a fancy place. Once again, maybe women have in some ways higher intuition, but men also have pretty good intuition. They have good gut feeling. So one of the ways to figure out the professional dater or so-called material girl is to just switch the place of dating. Instead of going, let's say you came for 2 weeks and you think you like this lady and you concentrating on her, and each time that you want to go out, she's the one that chooses the place. She is the one that insists on a particular place. And you kind of trying to be a gentleman and trying to be nice. Well, that's a mistake number one, and we talked a lot about being nice. First of all, in Ukrainian culture, you as the man and you choosing the place. You are paying and you're choosing the place. If you choose a fish restaurant and she is allergic to fish, she'll tell you. But other than that, one way is to not become a victim of scammers and people that take advantage of you is choosing the place. You can read Google reviews. You can ask some of your favorite bloggers about certain restaurant. You can make your own research. But and it kind of hurts, because I had consulted several men that I thought I explained that you got to choose a place, and they still felt that to be gentleman, the lady should choose the place, and they end up getting scammed out of hundreds and hundreds of dollars at the restaurant. And once again, no, if you let the person, the lady decide, you're not being a gentleman, you're being a very weak man. Just want you to know that, guys. I sometimes feel like the barrier of the bad news, but it's better to get clarity before you sign for something that in the end will hurt you, right? So once you trust the person, guys, that's different. Once you trust the person, you know that person, you can trust her to suggest, and you can both choose. But when you just come in and everything is new for you, you can check the menus, you can check the reviews, you can ask friends, you can post. I'm starting the open group here on Facebook. You can post in the group and ask if anybody have been to this or that restaurant. You can comment on this video and ask me or book a session with me, or ask anybody else in this industry. But please don't get scammed with this whole two menu thing. That you guys know that sometimes they have different menu, not only in the language but also in the prices. The girl that cares for you, she'll make sure she gets the Ukrainian menu, and she will help you to choose what's right. She won't try to grab something from you. And that's one of the differences with a professional dater. Professional dater knows they only date you for a couple times. So they trying to get the most, they trying to get the piece of the bad sheep, grab that, that fur, like little piece of it, or bigger piece of it. That's all they want. So the main thing about professional dating, they don't have professional dater. They don't have any particular plans with you. They're not connecting emotionally with you. Although they agreeing for more and more dates, but when you go out, they are really interested in a place, but you are not the focus of their attention. Their attention is on them having a good time, and the place means everything for them. If you would change the restaurant for a walk in a park, they would disappear. And that's another test that you can run. If you meeting a girl and you can say, hey, the day is beautiful today, let's go to Shevchenko Park, we can get some snacks. There is a park, it's called Shevchenko Park, right in front of incredible red university, that is Shevchenko University, downtown Kiev. That park, if I could, I would spend there day after day after day. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful place, and if you have something to study, if you want to have conversation with a friend, it's just a beautiful park right downtown, and it has a lot of different, you can order coffee, tea, different snacks, so it's not like you're gonna starve your girl, it's not about that. But the woman that's interested is in you, she wants to spend a lot of time with you to get to know whether it's worth her time when you go home, to stay in touch with you. And she might be talking to other men, but once she got to know you, she will be mostly focusing on you. And does it worth for her to wait 3-4 months till you come back? Does it worth for her to stay in that commitment? So if she is genuine, one of her biggest intentions is to spend as more time with you as possible, and going to parks or going on the river boats, going for walks. It's one of those ways when you just enjoying the good weather. You like I said, there are plenty of coffee and teas and different awesome things that you can buy on the street to eat. So it's not like everybody's gonna have hunger, like like a hunger attack. I don't know, is there such a thing, hunger attack? But basically, the genuine person would not care so much about the place, and won't try to push you certain place. If they are interested in you, they will be trying to get to know you, ask a lot of questions about you, understand what values do you have, what are you looking for, what do you think about kids, how do you see the future. Professional dater will talk about general things and travels and nightclubs and foods and brands. The person that's interested in you gonna be asking you about your childhood, about your dreams, about, sometimes women often ask about the past relationships too much. Sometimes they go over the board, but often it means that they are interested. I personally think that talking on a date about exes, it's such a, I think it could come later on, but I think even you talking about this in the beginning, it's just a joy stealer, because when you talk on a date about your exes, you go back in time, you relive things that you went through, and it's usually negative. Let's face it, it's usually negative, or you don't feel anything, but it's kind of, it steals the joy and romance, maybe, it steals everything from this particular moment. So I would honestly, from my own life experience, I think there is a time and place to talk about it, but I would try to avoid it first couple of days. So just generalize very much. We were not right for each other. Well, we are friends, but it's over. So there is no point getting into details. Instead of enjoy this person that's next to you, and you have a whole new life starting if you are with a person that's interested in you. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you, I appreciate that. And I don't know if I have any other comments, because sometimes they don't show as I talk, and they show in the end. So if anybody said hi, I just don't see you guys, and I had not announced this live, so I just wanted to, I'm just going through the questions. So guys, basically bottom line is this: genuine lady, that wants to get to know you, that wants to get to spend quality time with you. She will do anything and everything to spend as much time with you as possible. And it doesn't matter for her so much the location. She'll be honest with you. She will tell you what certain things cost, or what is the best place to go. She will probably take you to some places where local people go, not just tourists. She will really ask you challenging questions in a way. She will ask you questions about your vision of future, how you see yourself. She will ask you about your family and about the values that you have. If you ask me, I think values are number one important thing when you connecting with somebody, because if somebody values commitment and somebody wants to be in an open relationship, these things not gonna go very far. And if they would go, it would be extremely painful. So that's something to pay attention to. And also, ladies that interested in you, unlike professional dater, she's really in the moment. Like she's seeing you and she's having already a blast. It doesn't matter what you do. If you got to do fun things, that's great. But with a genuine person, they really want to get to know you. So it doesn't matter what you do. She's just holding your hand. She's going to the streets. It's amazing having you visiting. She's laughing. She looks right into your eyes. She's not distracted. She's not on her phone, trying to text million of other people. She's just present. There is a lot of eye contact, lots of questions, and she also comments on your answers. She doesn't just reply back and forth. She comments on your answers, and you can see that she could spend all day with you. With a professional dater, it's all ties up about the experience, how expensive things are, how rare and unique that thing is that you're gonna do. And genuinely, they are very cold. They wouldn't give, not cold, but they just don't let you approach them. The genuine woman, she can wait with anything maybe more intimate or sexual, especially. She will wait. She wants to make sure that things are evolving right, and she just don't want to think about it. She wants to enjoy the moment, right? It's like when you're having chocolate, you usually don't stuff everything into your mouth. You just go piece after piece and you enjoy every single bit of that, and so you let things unfold naturally. With a professional dater, she all of a sudden have a bunch of set rules. So she says, oh, you know what, I don't hug before the 6th date, or I don't hold hands. And, and she's like 36 years old. So like almost the behavior as she would be a 15-year-old virgin. That is very awkward. And she will never extend her arm toward you. She would not put her arm or let you put your arm around her. If you don't see those signs of affection after several dates, if the woman is like absolutely, she agrees to go on more and more dates, but at the same time she's avoiding contact. She's avoiding, she doesn't show any signs of affection. If your goal is to meet somebody for a serious relationship, you're wasting your time, because this lady is there for entertainment. So that's basically it, guys. It's just about the intention, and many ladies use that foreign man looking for a younger woman, like 10, 15, 20 years younger, and they think, well, you got to go out with me and I'm a beautiful woman, so I owe you nothing. And you know what? In some ways, they had justified that to themselves. But it's about you and your time and your budget and how you feel. So don't get fooled by the things women are saying to you, but try to connect with their body language. And so much said with the body language. guys, if you only observant as a date, if you observant with your date, if you just enjoy in the moment, but you just really pay attention, you will see how really easy it is to figure out if the person likes you, if the person is into you. Even the way they sit, even the way they hold themselves during the conversation. All right, and I'm about to wrap it up, guys. And Pedro is asking, what is the best age gap for girls like in Ukraine? It really depends. I would say this: women find it reasonable in our own country to date, like I would say 5 to 10 years is considered normal. With our own men, some people get married the same age, like in school or college. When people meet a little bit later in life, sometimes women like that the man is stronger and wiser. But when it goes more than 15 years, like 15 to 20, is already a high risk. And it doesn't matter how much you tell yourself that, I'm looking so much younger than my age. It's easy to make compliments to yourself. A lot of women, they use that because they know that you're looking for a trophy wife. You want to show off between your friends that you have a younger woman, and they know that, and that's why a lot of men getting scammed, a lot of men just losing their precious time on a fake people. When you are confident, you're not looking for a child. You're not looking to date a child. I could never understand why somebody 50 years old wants to date somebody who is 25. Because this woman could be your daughter. I mean, is that, guys, love happens sometimes, and there are obviously examples of that. But I feel that there is some weird idea behind that, to try to either go back to when you were young and play as if, or I think number 2 is most popular, is to show everybody that you have a younger wife and kind of elevate your status. You can possibly, things happen. I told you guys before, it really depends where you are in life. But if your main focus is the age and the face and the appearance, you're gonna find yourself, searching and searching, endlessly searching. So, 5 years, of course, is considered a acceptable difference. I would say 10 years old is not a problem. I would say up to 15. After 15 years is a problem. And you gotta also think about future. And I talk about this in some of my videos. Women, as they mature, as they become a woman from a girl, a lot of things are changing in their mind and their body. And if you are a lot older, even if things are good, after some years, 5 to 10 years, your marriage will start to shake, because you won't be able to do certain things, and you won't be able to keep up with your younger wife. Of course, there are exceptions. And I'm not trying to discriminate older men. What I'm trying to tell you guys, and gentlemen who are a little bit older, try to look within better reach. Try to look much closer to your age, because good news for you that if you are in your 50s, we have a lot of women in their 40s that really want to date. More than anything, they want to find a good partner, because men of their age are usually taken, have kids, have several wives already, and not available, and so on and so forth. So the better, the closer you are, the better. And it shows that you're confident, that you're not afraid to get older. That you're not afraid of aging. You want to make the most of your life, and you want to have a partner, you don't look for supermodels or artificial things and things like that. And if you are looking for those things, then you need to look for women that are ready to compromise. You need to look for women who are type number 4, basically. Unless you are traveling Ukraine and you have chemistry with somebody, that can happen when you see the person. Actually, you don't know how rich they are, how old they are, how young they are. When you see somebody in person, that's a lot different, because you might have instant chemistry and you might have instant connection with somebody, and God knows, where it's gonna take you. So just be mindful, and just like you don't want girls to chase you for the money, don't chase women for the younger and better and fresher and prettier, because you setting yourself for a disaster. Try to find somebody with who you have the best time, with who you can have awesome time, and you have so much time, so much fun, that you just you forget your name and time and space. That's the kind of person you will consider to be with. So, okay, I was supposed to leave 15 minutes ago, guys. Michael, congratulations. 30 is a great age. It's right where guys are becoming more serious and they understand more about where they're going. Also, here in US, they now try to say that 30 is almost like it used to be 20. Like, you are too young. But I don't believe in it. I think 30 is right where you getting on top of things, you learn things, and you figure out where you're going. And I think starting family in your 30s for men is pretty good, because your circle of friends and people is good. You're active, and if you decide to have kids, you have time, and so on. Because I have just my experience. My dad had me very late, and all my life people would say, "Hey, your grandpa is here," and it really sucked. It was not fun, because I wanted to play active games with my dad. My dad actually was older than my mom by almost 15 years, and it wasn't so great. It wasn't so great, because my mom had one kind of interest, my dad had totally different. And my dad taught me a lot of great things early, very early, but the downside was that he didn't have enough of energy to do things that I wanted to do. So don't wait for too long. And he had me in his mid-40s. So I know time had changed, but back in time, by the time he was 50, I was only 5. I want to run around. I want to eat mud. I wanted to do all this crazy stuff, and it was hard on him. So just from my own experience, but I will never forget how when I was picked up at school, people who didn't know me would tell me that my grandpa is there. It was driving me nuts. But of course, it also depends on your energy level, what physical shape you honestly are. Not what you're telling yourself, oh, I look young, or I feel good. No, how you really feel when you wake up in the morning, how often you work out, how, you gotta be able to keep up with somebody. You don't want to feel like you consistently, running with your, like this. So, I guess those things are pretty simple, and I'm late. I love you guys. Thank you for staying with me. Post your questions under this video. I'm going to make several Q&As shortly, and don't take my words personally. Take them as insight from somebody who has some experience and observe the patterns and tendencies and has pretty good intuition and connection with people. Just go for your best bet. Don't waste your time on things that don't give you anything back. So guys, with that being said, have a great night.